Scorpio is the zodiac sign that sparks the strongest reactions: admiration, fear, and, above all, hatred. Today, you'll discover 21 reasons why Scorpio is the most hated zodiac sign. Each trait reveals why this sign is so polarizing, but one reason in particular will leave you stunned. Is it their intensity, their unforgiving nature, or something even darker? And here's the kicker: reason number 3 is something most people don't see coming. Whether you love them or hate them, Scorpios demand your attention. Stay tuned to uncover the traits that make this sign impossible to ignore and even harder to love. Before we begin, share your zodiac sign and birth date. I'll be reading your comments. Let's get started. Number 21. Constant energy and restlessness. Scorpios are notorious for their relentless energy and the constant need to stay active, always on the go. While this may seem like a positive trait, it's one that others often despise. Their inability to sit still or slow down creates an overwhelming atmosphere for those around them. People feel pressured to keep up with their fast-paced lifestyle, which can lead to exhaustion and frustration. The Scorpios' refusal to take breaks or compromise in their quest for action often alienates others, leaving them feeling drained and disregarded. In social or work environments, this constant movement can come across as inconsiderate, making Scorpios one of the most hated zodiac signs. Their unyielding drive doesn't allow others the space to breathe, making their presence feel suffocating and, ultimately, a burden. This constant demand for activity and stimulation pushes people away, further cementing their reputation as the sign that everyone avoids. Number 20. Dark and vengeful. Scorpios are known for their deep emotional complexity and their ability to hold on to grudges for a long time. When they feel wronged, they won't just forgive and forget. Instead, they will plan their revenge, sometimes in ways that are subtle and calculated. Their desire for payback is relentless and often far more intense than the initial hurt they experienced. This makes them incredibly dangerous in relationships, as their ability to harbor resentment for years can lead to explosive confrontations later on. The Scorpio's vengeful nature creates an atmosphere of constant fear. People know that they may never fully escape the consequences of crossing a Scorpio. This chilling capacity for retribution makes Scorpios deeply hated by those who have wronged them. Rather than letting go, they cling to past wounds, seeking revenge with a level of intensity that others simply cannot ignore or escape. Their inability to forgive makes them the most despised sign, as people fear the inevitable backlash that always seems to follow their every move. Number 19. Brutal honesty. While many value honesty, Scorpios take it to an extreme that others find unbearable. They have no problem telling you exactly what they think, often in a way that can come across as ruthless or harsh. Whether it's pointing out your flaws, criticizing your actions, or giving unsolicited advice, Scorpios don't hold back. Their blunt nature may be seen as refreshing by some, but for many, it's just downright cruel. They don't care about sugarcoating the truth, and their directness often leaves people feeling embarrassed, hurt, or resentful. They have little regard for the feelings of others when it comes to delivering their unfiltered opinions, which can be emotionally devastating. This harsh honesty leaves a lasting impact, making Scorpios one of the most hated signs. People can't stand being on the receiving end of their sharp tongues, as their words often feel more like attacks than well-meaning advice. Their lack of tact and sensitivity makes them seem indifferent to others' emotions, which is why many avoid them altogether. Number 18. Infidelity and emotional control. Scorpios are experts in the art of emotional manipulation, and their ability to hide their true feelings makes them the ultimate players in relationships. They are not only able to conceal their emotions but also skillfully navigate through situations without revealing their true intentions. This makes it incredibly difficult for anyone to trust them fully, as they can easily deceive those closest to them. When it comes to infidelity, Scorpios can be incredibly sneaky, hiding their affairs with such precision that they are almost impossible to catch. Their emotional detachment allows them to be cold and calculating in their actions, leaving those who love them feeling betrayed and heartbroken. This ability to keep their emotions hidden, combined with their manipulative behavior, makes Scorpios one of the most despised signs in relationships. People feel trapped in their web of lies and deceit, unable to escape the emotional turmoil they create. The Scorpios' lack of transparency and emotional honesty only deepens the resentment that others have towards them. Number 17. Manipulative seduction. To win the heart of a Scorpio, it's not enough to be charming or romantic, you need to meet them on an emotional level. Scorpios are drawn to intense connections, and they seek partners who can match their deep emotional needs. This makes them incredibly seductive and, at times, manipulative in their relationships. They know exactly how to draw others in, using their emotional intelligence and powerful charm to get what they want. However, this seductive power often comes with a darker twist. They use it to control and manipulate. Instead of fostering genuine affection, they create emotional dependencies, making their partners feel like they are under their spell. This manipulative seduction is what makes Scorpios one of the most hated signs. They don't just fall in love, they ensnare others, using their emotional dominance to gain power. Their ability to manipulate emotions leaves a lasting impact, making people feel like mere pawns in a game they never signed up for. This emotional control and manipulation are what make Scorpios both captivating and deeply despised. Number 16. Scorpio is intense and passionate. When Scorpios fall in love, they dive in headfirst with an intensity and passion that can be overwhelming for anyone around them. They invest their entire emotional being into their relationships and expect the same level of commitment in return. There is no such thing as a casual relationship for Scorpio. They crave deep, meaningful connections and will not settle for anything less. However, this emotional intensity often becomes suffocating, as they demand constant validation and devotion from their partners. Their overwhelming need for reassurance and loyalty can lead to possessiveness, jealousy, and obsessive behavior, which creates an emotional burden for others. Scorpios' inability to trust others fully and their relentless pursuit of emotional connection can result in emotional chaos, making them feel stifling and exhausting to be around. Their unrelenting desire for commitment and intensity, when not reciprocated, can lead to frustration and resentment, causing people to resent them. This is why Scorpio is often considered the most hated zodiac sign. They create a toxic environment where others feel pressured, trapped, and emotionally drained. Number 15. Scorpio is jealous, obsessive, and blunt. Scorpio's emotional intensity doesn't stop at passion. They are also notorious for being incredibly jealous and obsessive, especially when it comes to relationships. Their need for control and reassurance often leads them to monitor their partner's every move, questioning their intentions and constantly looking for signs of betrayal. This obsessive behavior can quickly become suffocating, as Scorpios have a tendency to become fixated on their partner's actions, sometimes to the point of paranoia. But it doesn't stop there. Scorpios are also known for their brutal honesty. They speak their mind without thinking, often saying things that others find uncomfortable, rude, or unnecessary. While they may believe their bluntness is a form of honesty, it often feels like an emotional attack to those around them. This combination of jealousy, obsessive tendencies, and a lack of filter makes Scorpio incredibly difficult to be around. Their constant need for control and their ability to hurt others with their words create an environment of tension and insecurity, leading to deep resentment. This behavior is why Scorpio is one of the most hated signs in the zodiac. They can be manipulative, emotionally draining, and incredibly hurtful to others. Number 14. Scorpio is proud and holds grudges. Scorpios are known for their immense pride, and it is this very trait that makes them so difficult to deal with in relationships. When someone wrongs them, they are not quick to forgive or forget. Scorpios hold on to grudges with a tenacity that can last for years, refusing to let go of past hurts or slights, no matter how small. Their pride prevents them from admitting when they are wrong, and this makes it difficult to resolve conflicts with them. Even if the issue is minor, Scorpios can dwell on it for a long time, nursing their wounds in silence. This inability to forgive or move on creates a toxic emotional environment for those around them. People who are close to a Scorpio may feel constantly trapped in the past, unable to progress because their anger and resentment continue to linger. The emotional baggage that Scorpios carry makes it nearly impossible for relationships to thrive, creating deep frustration in those who are forced to deal with them. This is why Scorpio is so often the most hated sign. Their pride and inability to let go of grudges make them difficult and emotionally exhausting to be around. Number 13. Scorpio is emotionally strong but guarded. Scorpios pride themselves on being emotionally strong, but this strength often comes with a price. They are extremely guarded, keeping their feelings hidden from others, even those closest to them. While their emotional resilience is admirable, it also makes it very difficult for people to connect with them on a deeper level. Scorpios often create emotional walls to protect themselves from getting hurt, and these walls are not easily broken. This leads to a sense of emotional isolation for Scorpios, and it leaves others feeling shut out and unable to understand them fully. Scorpios are also incredibly private, refusing to share their true emotions or vulnerabilities with anyone, which can make them seem cold and unapproachable. Their emotional fortitude, though impressive, makes them seem distant and detached, as they prefer to deal with their feelings internally rather than share them with others. This creates frustration for those around them, who often feel like they're constantly walking on eggshells, trying to figure out what Scorpio is truly feeling. Scorpio's emotional guardedness makes them one of the most hated signs because it's hard to trust someone who is so closed off and unwilling to open up. Number 12. Scorpio needs clarity and confidence. Scorpios are deeply focused individuals who demand clarity and confidence from those around them. They have little patience for indecisiveness or insecurity, and they are quick to judge others who don't have a clear sense of direction in life. For Scorpio, uncertainty is a major turnoff, and they expect everyone they interact with to be just as confident and decisive as they are. This makes them come across as overly critical and dismissive, especially to those who may be struggling with self-doubt or lack of direction. Scorpio's inability to tolerate uncertainty creates friction in their relationships, as others feel judged and inadequate in comparison. They can't understand why anyone would lack confidence in themselves or their decisions, and they often don't hesitate to make others feel inferior because of it. This high standard for clarity and confidence makes it difficult for people to feel comfortable around Scorpios, as they fear being criticized or belittled for their own insecurities. This lack of empathy and understanding for others' struggles makes Scorpio one of the most hated signs, as they can be emotionally draining and overly critical of those who don't meet their exacting standards. Number 11. Scorpio women are bipolar and explosive. Scorpio women are known for their emotional extremes, which can make them incredibly difficult to handle in relationships. One moment, they can be sweet and caring, and the next, they can turn explosive and volatile. This unpredictability creates an emotional roller coaster that leaves others feeling exhausted and on edge. Their intense passion can quickly escalate into anger or frustration, and their emotional outbursts can be overwhelming. Scorpio women's mood swings make it almost impossible to know how they will react to any given situation, which creates a tense and unpredictable environment. For those around them, this constant emotional upheaval can feel suffocating and emotionally draining. They can be loving and affectionate one moment and cruel and harsh the next, making it difficult for people to ever truly relax around them. This emotional volatility, combined with their explosive reactions, makes Scorpio women one of the most hated signs. People are constantly walking on eggshells, unsure of what might set off the next emotional storm. The instability they bring to relationships makes them hard to trust and even harder to love. Number 10. Knowledge doesn't matter without love for Scorpio. Scorpio values emotional connection above all else. While knowledge and intellect may be appreciated, they believe that love is the ultimate factor in making someone truly valuable. If you don't have love or emotional depth, no matter how much you know, you are of little importance to Scorpio. This intense need for emotional connection makes them often disregard logical or intellectual achievements in favor of raw, passionate experiences. This mindset can be frustrating for those around them, as they feel that their accomplishments are dismissed if they don't meet Scorpio's emotional standards. For many, Scorpio's lack of appreciation for intellectual prowess and their overwhelming focus on love and passion feels shallow. This creates an emotional barrier where intellectuals or more reserved individuals may struggle to connect with Scorpio, making them feel misunderstood and unappreciated. The pressure to constantly meet Scorpio's emotional expectations leads to feelings of inadequacy and emotional exhaustion. This is one of the reasons why Scorpio is often the most hated sign. They prioritize emotional depth over everything else, and this can leave others feeling disregarded or insignificant. Number 9. Scorpio is defined by negative traits. Scorpios have a reputation for showcasing their most negative aspects in social and personal interactions. Their negative traits, such as jealousy, cruelty, and vengefulness, can overshadow their better qualities, making them one of the most difficult signs to get along with. Scorpios are known to be stubborn and hold grudges for extended periods, often harboring resentment and anger. This emotional intensity, when expressed in negative ways, makes them appear selfish, petty, and unapproachable. Their sarcasm and tendency to withhold help from others, even when it's clearly needed, make them seem cold-hearted and unforgiving. While they may have redeeming qualities, it's often their darker side that comes to the forefront in their relationships, causing emotional turmoil for those involved. This deep focus on negativity leads people to avoid them, as they can never truly relax or feel safe around a Scorpio. Their toxic traits make it clear why Scorpio is one of the most hated zodiac signs. Their cruelty and unwillingness to forgive create emotional instability that others struggle to handle. Number 8. Scorpio gives no second chances. If you wrong a Scorpio, you are not likely to receive a second chance. They are notorious for their unforgiving nature, and once they feel betrayed or hurt, they will not allow you to repair the damage. Scorpios are known for holding on to their grudges with a fierce determination, and they will not let go of past wrongs. This makes them incredibly difficult to approach after a falling out, as they won't give people the opportunity to apologize or make amends. Once the damage is done, there is no going back, and you will find yourself permanently cut off from their life. This harsh, unforgiving stance often creates an environment where people are afraid to make mistakes or express their emotions for fear of losing Scorpio's approval. Scorpio's insistence on holding grudges and never giving second chances creates immense tension, and this harshness leads to deep resentment from others. It's this unforgiving nature that makes Scorpio one of the most hated signs. People feel constantly on edge, knowing that one misstep can permanently damage their relationship with a Scorpio. Number 7. Scorpio is not the romantic sign of water. Despite being a water sign, Scorpio is not necessarily the most romantic zodiac sign. Many people expect water signs to be affectionate and romantic, but Scorpio's idea of love and romance is intense, possessive, and often unhealthy. Scorpios are deeply passionate but also suspicious and controlling. Their version of romance is rooted in emotional intensity and desire for control, which often leads to obsessive behavior. Unlike other water signs, such as Cancer or Pisces, who are more open with their emotions and romantic gestures, Scorpio's love is more about power dynamics and emotional manipulation. This creates confusion and frustration for those hoping for a tender, loving relationship with Scorpio. Their idea of romance is more about securing loyalty and control than fostering affection and nurturing a healthy bond. People who are expecting sweet and romantic gestures may find Scorpio's love to be overwhelming and suffocating. This lack of traditional romantic behavior often leads to Scorpio being misunderstood, and many people find their emotional demands and possessiveness to be too much to handle. This is why Scorpio is one of the most hated signs. They don't embody the warmth and softness that others may associate with romance. Number 6. Scorpio is a natural leader who can convince others easily. Scorpios are natural leaders with an uncanny ability to persuade others to follow their ideas or take risks they might not otherwise consider. While this can be an asset in certain situations, it often leads to Scorpio manipulating people into doing things they don't necessarily want to do. Their ability to convince others of their point of view or get them to act in ways they might regret later can be unsettling for those who find themselves under Scorpio's influence. Scorpios know how to exploit their charm and emotional intelligence to manipulate situations to their advantage, making others feel like they are on the same page, even if they are not. This can create feelings of betrayal and resentment from those who feel like they were used or manipulated. Scorpio's leadership style is often more about control and power than cooperation, and this can be incredibly alienating for those around them. This is another reason why Scorpio is considered one of the most hated signs. They use their persuasive abilities to manipulate others, leaving people feeling exploited and emotionally drained. Number 5. Scorpio never forgives betrayal. Scorpio is the most distrustful sign of the zodiac, and nothing offends them more than betrayal. Once their trust is broken, there is no turning back. If someone dares to betray a Scorpio, they can forget about their friendship forever. This unyielding stance makes Scorpio intimidating to many, as people feel like they must constantly tread carefully around them. Their inability to forgive or rebuild trust creates an atmosphere of fear and distance, making them seem cold and unforgiving. Others may find it exhausting to meet Scorpio's high standards for loyalty, and any slip-up is met with immediate exile. This trait, while stemming from their deep emotional nature, causes many to view Scorpio as overly harsh and rigid. People often feel judged, scrutinized, and ultimately discarded for minor mistakes. It's this unforgiving nature that makes Scorpio one of the most hated zodiac signs. Few can handle the pressure of meeting their impossible expectations, and even fewer can repair the relationship once they've failed. Number 4. Scorpio stands firm in their decisions. When Scorpio makes a decision, they stick to it no matter what. Their determination and unwavering resolve are unmatched, but this can also make them incredibly stubborn and inflexible. Once Scorpio has set their mind on something, convincing them to reconsider is nearly impossible. This resolute nature often frustrates those around them, who may feel unheard or dismissed in discussions or disagreements. Scorpio's refusal to compromise or adapt to changing circumstances makes them seem controlling and unwilling to collaborate. This trait alienates people, as they feel like their opinions and perspectives hold no weight in Scorpio's eyes. While their determination can be a strength, it often turns into a barrier that isolates them from others. People may grow to resent Scorpio's unwillingness to bend, seeing them as arrogant or domineering. This stubbornness is one of the key reasons why Scorpio is so hated. They prioritize their decisions and pride over harmony, making them difficult to work or live with. Number 3. Scorpio craves power and control. Scorpio's obsession with power and control defines their personality. They approach life like a politician seeking re-election, always strategizing and plotting to maintain their dominance. This relentless pursuit of control makes them seem manipulative and calculating to those around them. Scorpios often seek to dominate relationships, workplaces, and social circles, which creates tension and conflict with those who value equality and independence. Their need to be in charge can stifle the autonomy of others, making people feel suffocated and resentful. Scorpio's desire for power isn't just about leadership, it's about ensuring that everything aligns with their vision and that they remain untouchable. While their ability to take charge can be impressive, it also makes them one of the most difficult zodiac signs to deal with. People often view their control-driven behavior as toxic and overbearing. This relentless hunger for power is why Scorpio is one of the most hated signs. They thrive on dominance, leaving little room for compromise or collaboration. Number 2. Scorpio must always feel in control. If you want to win over a Scorpio, the key is to make them feel like they are in control. Scorpios are drawn to relationships and situations where they can take the lead, and they dislike anything that threatens their sense of dominance. While this may seem harmless at first, it quickly becomes exhausting for those around them. Constantly catering to Scorpio's need for control creates an imbalance, where others feel like they have to sacrifice their own independence to maintain harmony. Scorpio's desire to dominate extends to all aspects of their life, from romantic relationships to friendships and even professional settings. This controlling behavior can make people feel trapped, undervalued, and unappreciated. Instead of fostering mutual respect, Scorpio's need for control often alienates those closest to them. It's this unyielding desire to always be in charge that makes Scorpio one of the most hated zodiac signs. They demand control at the expense of everyone else's peace of mind. Number 1. Scorpio's strong personality is hard to handle. Scorpio's personality is incredibly intense and often overwhelming for those around them. Their emotional depth, passion, and strong will make them a force to be reckoned with, but these same traits can also make them incredibly difficult to manage. Scorpios are known for their fiery tempers and unwavering opinions, which can intimidate and exhaust others. Their strong personality often clashes with more laid-back or easygoing individuals, creating friction in relationships and social interactions. People may feel like they are walking on eggshells around Scorpio, unsure of how to handle their intensity. This leads to misunderstandings, resentment, and eventually, avoidance. While Scorpio's strength can be admirable, it often comes at the cost of harmony and balance in their relationships. Their dominant and sometimes aggressive nature pushes people away, solidifying their reputation as one of the most hated signs in the zodiac. Scorpio's sheer intensity leaves little room for compromise, making them one of the most challenging and polarizing signs to deal with.